Peace, my fellow weirdos. Peace and power to you. Yes, you're getting me in the background.
Is this you?
Doing what I do. That's elderberry syrup mixed in there too, so try to drink it all. Don't waste it. So, yes. Let me just say this, okay? Let me just say this. A lot of us are depressed, sad, miserable, sick. We feel unloved. We feel not good enough. Our heart really wants what we think we want, but then we don't feel worthy of having it, right? It's just like this crucial conflict inside of you. I feel like the last 3 to 4 days, I don't know if it could be my natal chart. I'm not the astrologer, I'm the oracle. But it seems that learning astrology is a part of this process. But I purposely wanted to do this video because I have came to a realization while I have been sitting in my personal abyss of shit, trauma, triggers, all of it. I watch myself and I observe myself, and I try to do this free of judgment, right? But there's always a part of you where you don't feel like you're enough. Am I really worthy to receive the things that I want, right? And so what I realize is that a lot of us are overwhelmed with fear. What if what my heart wants doesn't pay me enough to take care of my family? And so like we feel like we're having to choose between keeping a thumb or keeping my big toe. Like both of them is very important to the function of my body. And I think a lot of us feel like that's the kind of choice that we're having to make, and we don't understand what's happening. So instead of running to a lot of my personal comforts, I just sat with all of the screaming, crying, angry, harassing, bullying, desperation, just every negative thing you can think of. I just sat with it for days. I sat in the dark by myself, no distractions, as minimal as possible. Of course, I'm gonna always do my best to fulfill my role as a mother. But there's another part of me that needs to be acknowledged, right? That needs to come forward. And so, in sitting with this, Kalani, I'm doing a video. And sitting with this, a lot of us feel so fucking victimized by every damn thing in person, including our own internal dialogue. We never make the steps necessary to be and live as the person we say we want to be and live as. At some point, we have to stop talking about it. And we have to start planning and actually taking steps. It's not going to be perfect every day, but challenge the fear. If something tells you that there is something wrong with you or not good enough about you, challenge it and see. If you feel like you want to try something new, but you're a little apprehensive because your family or co-workers or whoever, like, try it out and see. That's the only way you go figure it out. But when you sit and think and strategize and think, and then you got a ritual for this, and then you got this ceremony for this candle magic for this for that, that for that, it's a lot, and it gets overwhelming. And sometimes your conjuring more energy than you are really ready to be able to handle. And so we are those new gods who are really the old gods and goddesses, and we completely forgot who we were. So this whole amnesia with past lives and all of that, I'm definitely convinced now that we absolutely are fragments of source having this experience in a container called time and space that's really not a container, but we feel contained. We feel like we're suffocating. We feel like no matter what we do, it wasn't the best move for whatever reason. And it's the internal dialogue. And then on top of that, we have this cult that we were born into, where we've been laying our hands on our heart and pledging our allegiance to the same flag that was flown while such horrible things were done to indigenous people, and the list goes on and on. All of that alone causes a lot of pathological, transpersonal experiences. Kalani, I'm doing a video. Kalani, I'm doing a video. You too loud. Yeah. So when I created the 30 days of praise, reverse the curse, like I really didn't know how impactful that was going to be. It's just stuff that I've been using for myself. And I'm just with y'all using it and looking at y'all answers and your insights and the things that you are discovering about yourself. It is just fucking phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal. And that came from my mind and my heart being aligned. I hear my ego. Oh, Khamsin, you putting it out there again. You putting yourself out there again. You might have 10 people be interested. You might, that's this ego program where I have to say, little Khamsin, they picked on you and they bullied you for being unique. But now people come to you for help. And some of the people that's coming to you are the people that bullied you. Little Khamsin, I'm doing this out of my love for you. It's okay for you to be afraid. I hear you and feel you, but I'm going forward because I'm an adult and I am no longer playing this human game anymore. My focus is afterlife. My focus is preparing myself for what's next. And then the ego is like, okay, you know, but we don't know that it's that simple. So, you know, today I usually upload on Monday, but I didn't. I had a stomach virus and our daughter had been sick and I had been healing her. So Sunday when it came time to do class, I just couldn't. And, you know, it was a test for everybody who is a part of the New You Mystery School as well, that your soul signed up to have that experience to see, because we have such insecurity around our money and where we're putting the money that, like, it was almost like, Khamsin, if you don't show up no matter what's going on, the show must go on. And I did it up to like 10 minutes before. I couldn't walk. I didn't have enough energy to even hold my head up. I had been up for days. And I was like, this would not be a message of love for myself today. There are some days, the way that I send myself unconditional love is by doing something difficult. Sunday was not that day. That was the day for me to stop and say, ego, I know that you are afraid that people are going to think that you're just asking for their money to have their money. But their attachment issues with their money is being healed by them participating in the New You Mystery School. And so this is just a synchronicity. And so what is going to come out of this? So for those who trust the process and don't pull out, they're going to get a benefit. And it made me feel so much better. But if I did not soothe my ego first, of being afraid that people will abandon me, reject me, or even worse, accuse me of not being genuine, then I am just furthering the suffering of separation that's happening on this planet. And so I have realized that this is why people feel a level of comfort with me that they may not feel with other people. And there's plenty of other witches and healers and shamans and high priestesses and oracles and astrologers. But there are some people who just resonate with what comes through me. And that's so profound and humbling. So I did not upload my not average, because nothing I do is average. I'm a fucking weirdo. Like, come on now, how can I be average? But my regular routine, I didn't do it. Monday, I didn't even do the motivational message. The point of me saying this is, if you do not feel inspired to do something, forcing yourself to do it is not going to make it magical unless you have already created a prearrangement that this is something that you're going to tackle and do. Otherwise, you're just allowing yourself to be put on it's this invisible treadmill where even when you're resting, you're not resting, because your idea of success is so attached to your achievements, how often you show up, when you show up, whether or not you can meet everybody's needs, who's happy with you, who isn't. That's the root of mental illness. Everything that you have right now in this moment, in your house, at work, in your car, wherever you are, I don't care if you got a roof over your head or you don't, if you got food in the refrigerator or you don't, like none of that matters more than this present moment right here. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Are you thinking things that make you feel empowered, or are you thinking things that make you feel hopeless and desperate? That's the question that you want to ask yourself. And so I'm gonna go ahead and post what I wasn't gonna post today, because I wanted to make sure that I was moving off of inspiration and not intellect. Because my magic as a white galactic wizard comes through me when it comes through my heart, when I move through my heart, and when I allow my emotions and the ingenuity, the ingenious ideas to come together and create these free courses and programs. And so, even though we miss class, honestly, it's so much on our website. It's so much on our YouTube. It's plenty of information to pull and draw from for others who are on this journey of sovereignty, of apotheosis. It's a up and down road. This is the road that is less traveled, which means it's just going to be some stuff you're not going to be able to check with anybody on and see, is that going to be the best thing for me to do or not? And so just practice listening to your heart, And so if I only put my hands to things when I'm inspired, that amplifies the magical experience for whoever is on the other end. So so this is how I have been moving, even though I feel the stress and the pressure. And I hear people like, oh God, like I work with another spiritual healer and I pay her $9,000 for 6 months of nothing. I've heard it all. But my authenticity and how genuine I am, it comes through. And I trust that. I hear everything else. I hear Watiko. I hear the programming. But my value is not based on whether or not I show up when people want me to. My value is not based on my external achievements. My value is based on what I feel and think about myself right now in this moment. And if it happens to be something that is disempowering or that is not serving me, I can switch it up, and I call that flipping the coin. Just flip the coin. Flip a coin. Do the opposite. So if you've been crying all day, find something to laugh at. One of the best ways to find something to laugh at, especially for those of you who are not really into TV, get naked and dance. And If you can do it while singing, even better. If you can do it until you get exhausted and you realize that you don't have the exact same, strength that you had in your youth. It's even more interesting to watch yourself get out of breath. To watch the rolls jiggle and move and the cellulite circle is just so beautiful just to watch, whatever it is. It could be muscles, it could be wrinkles. Maybe you're like me and you lost 50 pounds and so you have loose skin now. Like, hey, if you're not comfortable with the way you look, you can always change it. But guess what? This is a lot of comedic humor within your own trauma. You must find the comedy within the pain. And once you do that, you can give power to others without depleting yourself. And this is how it's done. So if you enjoyed this, check out our website, remnantsgathering.com. Always click on programs. Check out all our freebies and our programs that are marked down. And Patreon, y'all know I like to get jiggy over there, uncensored style. So that's what's happening. So check out our Patreon as well. And if you want to get into your mystery school, it's not too late. We are going to do the next class, and it's going to be epic and beautiful as it always is. Y'all already know. But you have my love. We're going to get through this. We're just swimming through the karmic ocean. And we've been lost souls, but we're figuring it out. Right? We're figuring it out. And it's going to get better and better and better and better and better. And just continue to get better. And you're continuing to get better. And the more that you notice that you're worse is because better is available, right? But you must isolate the problem so that you can start getting to the bottom of why you treat yourself so terribly. And then when people mistreat you, it won't bother you as much. Because you'll be like, well, at least I got me to fall back on. May, your third eye has just been kissed. Peace and power.